Hello and welcome to Demon Interviews episode 188. That's some Pokemon name. I don't know which one. I'm your host, Springy, and joining us today is our very special guest.
Bug cosplay.
Woo! Um,
Thank you.
so how are you doing today?
Doing great. A little bit tired, but happy to be here, thanks. How about yourself?
Tired. Time zones are killer sometimes.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
but yeah, I'm doing good. Got my non-sponsored Mountain Dew, so I am very pleased with myself. Um, so have you ever been interviewed like this before?
I have not. This is the first time.
Well, we're happy to introduce you to the world of interviewing.
Thank
Yay.
you.
Uh,
I'm excited to be trying it out.
Yay. Um, so the next question, so people can assume if they are not familiar with your content, and they're coming from our side of the world, it sounds like there's like only two sides, your side and my side. No, if they don't know you, you are in fact a cosplayer. You
Yes.
don't just like to wear cat ears randomly.
I mean, sometimes, but not
True.
always.
True.
I
Um,
mean, yeah, so
yeah.
cosplay has been a big thing for me now for about 12 years, maybe 13. I think I've lost count, but it's a
Awesome.
big part of my life.
Awesome. Well, do you have any other new cosplays planned to do that you're able to tell us about without me giving you a small fee of $5?
Yeah, so I obviously do a lot of Ruby stuff. I have Emerald's newest outfit from not the most recent volume, but the one before. Sadly, we did not get to see her, but I have Emerald's new outfit that I'll be debuting hopefully at Anime Weekend Atlanta this coming October. I do a lot of Hell of a Boss cosplay, so I'll be doing Verosica Mayday soon for the first time, and I'll be making Asmodeus as well. And then oh, I know there's more stuff, but I am currently blanking out on anything outside of those.
That's fine. It
Oh, and I'll
happened.
be doing the harpy version of Lilith from the Owl House soon with a
Ooh.
friend of mine, which will be a lot of fun.
Awesome. Awesome. If you notice me looking off to the side, that's what the questions are. I'm not just like,
Totally fine. Just staring off.
pretty things. All my cheap
Art.
cosplays sometimes. But the next question is going to be, uh, I'm trying to pick which one. Um, so you said that on the social medias you go by Aribug, correct?
Yep.
Making sure I'm saying it correctly.
Thank
Why did
you.
you choose that as username and not Blake Lover 526 or whatever?
Well, it is kind of a nickname off of my name. My name is Ari. So I got the nickname Ari Bug from a friend in middle school and have just kind of stuck with it since then. It fit in every sense of the capacity. It was cute, kind of ladybug themed. Not my favorite ship, but I don't dislike it, but it just fit in every capacity.
Yeah.
So I've stuck with it for a long time. I think it's been my handle for my cosplay accounts for about 8 or 9 years now. Before that, it was Akai Shinigami cosplay.
Oh, awesome. Awesome. Well, what is wrong with me today? Would you rather
Barely.
eat Cheetos or go on a hike? Is the next question.
Ooh, that's a hard one. Depends on the day. I think I'd lean more into a hike.
Nice, nice, nice. Well, the next question is going to be coming. Actually, no, it's not a question. I'm bad with reading today. That's great for the episode we're going to be filming after this. Uh, the next thing I'm going to say is don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell icon. If you have any questions for our lovely guest here, put them in the comments section below. If we ever get them back onto the show in this same capacity, we'll ask them your questions, if they're appropriate. Dave.
Please.
Um, And also, don't forget to follow our lovely guests on all social media platforms. There's a way to get to them all in the description below, at least the names for them, if not links, depending on how lazy I feel when I'm uploading things. Um, at least the names for everything will be there. Yeah,
Yep, and it's pretty much the same throughout. On Instagram, I have a 360 at the end. On TikTok, I don't.
awesome.
Nice and easy.
Nice and easy. Um, since you brought up the ticks of the talks, um,
Mhm.
since it is a newer and there's a hair, it's bugging me. Um, since it is a newer and as of this moment technically controversial, at least talked about a lot. I don't know if it's
Yep.
controversial. I just think just it's in the media a lot. I guess that's
Yeah.
why did you start using it in the first place?
So I started using TikTok because a lot of my friends through cosplay were getting on there. I first downloaded it hilariously about 3 weeks before the pandemic hit in 2020.
Mm-hmm.
I was at my last convention before it shut down, which was KatsuCon 2020,
Oh,
and one of my friends was making a TikTok, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna do that. I tried it out then, and then a couple of weeks later, the world shut down, and I had nothing to do. So I started cosplaying more on TikTok then, and I had already been cosplaying for about a decade at that point.
yeah,
So switched over to doing some stuff on TikTok in the pandemic, and then I've kind of just stuck with it. It's a lot, the following you build on there goes a lot faster than a lot of other social media platforms, from what I've noticed. So it's nice to keep using and keep people coming in from there, and then also coming over to my Instagram from there, since that's been my main media for my cosplay for a long time.
yeah. That makes sense. Like, and I have also noticed the very uneven climb that TikTok gives in general compared to other social
It's
media platforms.
crazy. It's so interesting to see how it takes off otherwise,
Mm-hmm.
and like different than other things.
Well, my next question is going to be, um, again, perfect timing. Since you brought up conventions, how many have you gone to before? Or if it's easier, how many different ones have you gone to before?
Oh goodness. So I have been going to conventions across the southeast now for about 13 years, from Florida to Tennessee to Alabama to Georgia to North Carolina to DC to Pennsylvania. So I have done a lot of conventions. I actually am a second director for MomoCon, so I run MomoCon and used to work for a lot of other conventions in the area. So I've very, very deep in the anime convention and organizing conventions at this point.
Just a little bit.
So I don't think a minimum of 10 different conventions, I'd say, is the circuit I've done. I don't remember.
Huh. Well, so you're just going to like one or two. Just a
Just
couple.
one or two.
Just a
No, I don't
couple.
do like 15 cons a year or anything crazy.
No.
Nah.
No. No. Maybe 16, but 15, that's, pick a even number, you
Normal.
know? Um, since we're kind of on the track with conventions a little bit, since it seems you've had a lot of experience with this, these are going to be very fun. Um, the next one is just technically a promotion, and I think you kind of touched on it a little bit. Are there any upcoming cons you're hoping to attend to that you're able to talk about?
Yes, I have two upcoming cons that I know for certain at the moment. My next convention will be Dragon Con, which is the Labor Day weekend, first weekend of September. And then I will have Anime Weekend Atlanta, which is Halloween weekend. And if everything pans out correctly, I will also have Holiday Matsuri, which is a couple days before Christmas. But I'm
Ooh,
still in the works on figuring that one out financially.
I
And if not, then Katsucon will be the next one after that.
awesome, awesome. Well, the next question is actually coming from my past guest, still on kind of on the con train. There's only two more con-based questions, I promised. Um,
Oh, no worries. I love
so
them.
this one is coming from, I think. if numbers line up from our last guest on the show, Justice. That's a name I didn't think about having to say. Um, yeah.
Just
Go
it.
go watch the other one. What is your strangest con experience?
Oh Lord. Um, okay, I have two that stick out in my mind when I think about strange con experience. One of them would be, I think it was 2014 or 2015 Katsucon, where there was Katsucon happens on National Harbor on the bay right against DC, the DC Maryland state line.
Mm-hmm.
And since the convention center is right on the water and there was like a cold weather and a wind advisory, so it was like 15 degrees out, but the wind gusts got so strong that they blew all the glass doors to the convention center open and they had to barricade all the doors closed. So the entire weekend, no one went outside, but every single set of doors had like chairs and poles through them, barricading them shut against the wind. It
Wow.
was a very cold weekend. Um, and then the other one that I will never forget, because I was working this convention, is I used to be a supervisor with Anime Weekend Atlanta. I no longer volunteer with them, but they are a great convention. However, one year I was volunteering. I was not on shift at the time, but the fire alarm started going off, and I just happened to be hanging out near the staff areas. So I ended up having to evacuate 3 floors of the hotel
Oh
while
God.
in little heels and a tiny little skirt because I was in cosplay and not on shift. So I looked ridiculous screaming into a megaphone, getting people off all of the guest floors, and then having people cross the street in front of the fire trucks.
Hmm.
Um, so I think those are my two wildest stories. I'm trying to think. I also met Leonard Nimoy once at a Waffle House outside of Dragon Con at about 2 a.m. before he passed away.
Oh,
And that was a funny convention experience.
awesome.
He was a very weird person to see sitting at a Waffle House booth.
I I can bet. I bet. Um. So, uh, I think this is the last con based question. I try to just group them all together at all times. What was your favorite convention memory?
Ooh, okay. Favorite memory. I have to be honest with you. A lot of people will find this cringy, but I feel no shame. I am shamelessly a homestuck in 2023, and I will shamelessly be a homestuck till I die.
Mm-hmm.
All of my early heyday of homestuck memories from like 2011 through 2013 were some of the most chaotic and fun times of my life.
Oh.
There is something to be said about being a ridiculous teenager and just totally not being scared of being embarrassed or anything.
Mm-hmm.
So definitely early Homestuck would be some of my favorite memories, specifically at Dragon Con. We used to all congregate on the 10th floor of the Marriott Marquis because they have like 6 different hotels at Dragon Con.
Mm-hmm.
And it used to be like the Homestuck meeting place. You'd walk up there and it would just be crawling with Homestuck. It was
Awesome.
so fun. They now have it sectioned off as a photo shoot floor, and you can no longer hang out up there. But the memories live on,
Awesome.
as does the famous carpet. They have a cult based around the carpets from Dragon Con's Marriott before they switched the carpet over.
I
Cult of
think
the
I heard
carpet.
about that. I think I heard about
Yep.
that once. Or
There's the cult of the carpet and the cult of John, which is the FedEx cutout that they put an altar around a couple of years ago, and he has a giant following online, like 30,000 people.
well then.
Isn't that That's another ridiculous con experience. Now that they don't have him out, people print him out and bring him to con and set him up.
Oh God.
Poor guy was just a model for FedEx one time,
And now he is. Uh,
forever stuck with the Dragon Con cult around him.
yeah. Um. So, uh, who from social media in general, as other ugh. Okay. Who from different social medias would you like to do a collaboration with in real life who you haven't done one with before?
Oh, I haven't done one with before.
Yeah,
Ooh.
yeah, the yang in the background doesn't count.
No, Abby is stuck with me for life.
Yeah,
I love her so much. My Yang is my bestie, as she should be.
yeah.
So I think one person that I would love to do something with on social media is a slightly villainous cosplay. They are a really good stolen cosplayer. Oh my God, I am obsessed. They're one I would love to cosplay with in the future. I very unrealistic, but keeping my
Yeah,
I just keeping my side high.
yeah.
However you say it. I'm so bad at English sayings. I'm so sorry.
It's fine.
Um, let's see. Them. I guess I've cosplayed with Nick. Sorry, I'm thinking.
You're fine.
I would love to do something with cow butt crunchies, but again, very unrealistic. Super amazing cosplayers. They used to be Homestucks back in the day at the same time as me, and I've always looked up to them.
Hmm.
They're so talented.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
yeah,
Just
I think
kidnap them. It'll be fine.
yeah, just it'll be
Just
fine.
it's
I
fine.
have always watched their cosplays and been so impressed by everything they create. They are such talented makers of everything, like foam, wigs, all of it. Just so
Hmm.
impressive.
Oh, I agree. I agree 100%. Um, speaking of inspirations, who are some of your biggest cosplay inspirations or inspirations? I said inspirations twice. I meant to say inspiration and inspirations. Ah, uh,
um,
save me.
you're good. I'm trying to think. Cosplay inspiration. I don't know. I don't know if I have an answer to that one. I started cosplaying at a point in time where social media was so not a thing. It was like
Hmm.
still Farmville and Facebook and Instagram didn't exist yet.
Hmm.
So it was such a different community and a different scene back then. You weren't cosplaying to post stuff. There was not a lot of bigger cosplayers you knew of other than like Yaya Han
Yeah.
or something like that. But so I didn't have a lot of inspiration for other cosplayers when I first started. I was just a little middle schooler who wanted an outlet.
Awesome.
Yeah, nothing I can think of.
Perfect. Um, so this next question is actually coming from a past guest and a person that in the next video you'll be in with. Let's see if I butcher their username or not. Mia Moi underscore Migui. What does
Nice.
cosplay mean to you?
Cosplaying means the world to me. It has brought me so much in my life that I'm so thankful for. Thanks. I have always been kind of as we all are in the anime scene, a nerdy, kind of outcast sort of type.
Hmm.
Um, bullied a lot in school early on and all that fun stuff. So anime was really anime and comics and stuff were my first little outlet and my little safe space. And getting into conventions was one of the first places I really was able to freely make friends with everyone, and everyone else was super nerdy and super into all this fun stuff that we do. So conventions are really how I've made 90% of my friends in my life. Like all the people I surround myself with. I have two amazing god kids now because I made friends with a Yang cosplayer.
Hmm.
Like my whole life is thanks to cosplay, I think at this point. All my friends and family and the people I love. Like it has brought me so much community and so many connections, and that is really what I'm the most thankful for.
Awesome. So, sorry. So the thing that
You're
happened
good.
was I came up with another question for the interview in 2 hours, and then I looked and I already had it on there.
Nice.
So go
You're
me.
on top of it.
It seems like it. So I almost asked you the same question twice. Uh, would you keep a pet zombie or would you kill it?
Ooh, I think it depends on what sort of habitat I had.
Mm-hmm.
If I had something, this is a very weird, obscure reference. If I had something like the eel pit on TikTok, I don't know if you watched the eel pit
I
guy.
I don't think so. I might have to look him
Awesome.
up. Gonna have to look him
If
up.
you're into fish and marine life, it's a very weird niche thing. Man has like a cinder block pit under his garage that he keeps eels and like bigger fish that need more space and more gallons of water. But if I had like a cement pit with like a locking roof, I keep a zombie just to see what happens, but I also feel like that's kind of asking for it.
Yeah. Like some, it's like, but
Maybe
then
not risk my life.
like you just have like a really bad day. You just walk down and you just take a stick and you start poking them with it.
That would be
Literally
so
poking
funny.
the
I think
zombie
I just
with a
want to
stick.
observe from afar. Any sort of contact I'd have to have, I'd be like, no, I'm not keeping that.
I feel that. I do. Uh, so next up is what is one of the hardest things about getting into your cosplays?
Ooh, I think my biggest struggle is one that I've created for myself, but I love doing body paint cosplays. That's why I do a lot of Hell of a Boss, a lot of Homestuck. I feel a lot more confident in them. So I tend to take like 4 or 5 hours to get into body paint when I do, which is
Mm,
great. If you're at a convention and that's half your day. So
yeah.
a lot of the times I wake up at 6 or 7 a.m. and start painting myself while everyone else in my hotel room will be asleep. Me and
Yeah.
my friend, Loose Ends, tend to wake up super early and just get ourselves in body paint.
Awesome.
Worth it, but
Yeah.
I definitely create that struggle for myself.
Yeah. Yeah. I know I'm gonna have to start learning body paint because I have a Grim Jean cosplay, and
Oh, fun.
I'm
I highly
making.
recommend using Mayron Paradise or Snazaroo and using a kabuki brush instead of a sponge for putting it on, and then sealing with baby powder and got to be glued hairspray on your skin. It's the
Ah.
best way to keep it from coming off. Baby powder yourself all over the paint, and then once that's kind of dried, spray yourself till you feel like you're choking, and then keep your eyes closed for like 5 minutes while that dries.
Ah. Well then.
But it does not come off once you do that. It is there for life, and then you don't have to worry about other people.
True. True. I just walk into work and I'm just like more pale than normal.
They're like, what happened to you? You
How did
sick?
you get less sun?
Became a vampire overnight.
Yeah, man. Uh with black and red contacts, like it's my plans and what's going to happen are like two different things, but those are my
No, that's so
plans.
valid. Same,
Uh
same. Sometimes things don't go as you plan.
yeah. Um so the next question, how are you and some of the characters you cosplay alike and how are you different?
So for Blake specifically, she is one that I started cosplaying because I related to her character so much.
Mhm.
I saw Blake in Volume 1 and immediately loved her, just like the quiet nerd with the book in the corner. Not exactly like extroverted in any way, but
Yeah.
gets picked up by a group of extroverts to say the least. Um, I adore her, and I have always related to Blake. She was one that I saw and immediately was like, no, I need to cosplay her. Um, so Blake's one, a lot of the Ruby stuff I do is actually because I related to the characters. Emerald as well was like that for me. I fell in love with Emerald from the start. I'm like, oh, my sweet girl. So I do a lot of cosplays because I relate to them, and sometimes Kanaya Miriam was always the Homestuck character I related to, so Kanaya has been my main cosplay. If you look at my Instagram, I think about 30% of my cosplay photos are just her, different versions of her. But so I do a lot of characters I relate to. I tend to stick to that more versus like trying to do things I don't relate to and make myself be like them. That's a little harder for me.
Yeah.
But I have been trying to do that more and more lately. With a lot of the Hell of a Boss stuff I do, Moxie is a little bit outside of my comfort zone of who I would normally do, but he's fun, and it's fun to do Millie and Moxie with my friend Batty.
Yeah.
Uh, and stuff like that. Doing the louder cosplays is a little harder for me when they're very outspoken. Rosaria from Genshin is one like that. I really loved her design, and I love how cool and like badass she is.
Mhm.
However, it we did a panel for Genshin, a murder mystery at MomoCon last month, And it took a lot to be loud and yell and like be imposing.
Yeah,
I'd much rather be the shy one, but been trying to push myself.
awesome. Awesome. And it only seems I know two words, but I mean them every single time.
I, I
um,
understand.
what, either online or in person, or both, what's the best compliment you've ever gotten?
For cosplay or in
Yeah,
general?
I, take it how you wish.
Okay. Hmm. I think my favorite cosplay a compliment I've gotten was at Katsucon when me and my friend were in Blitzo and Stolas, and I have a full fursuit version of Stolas I made basically, which is like a skin tight morph suit fursuit thing. And I wear a red robe over it for his like red robe outfit, and I have pony boots that don't have the heel that I built talons off of, so it looks like I have bird legs, and it's really fun. But there was a very drunk person downstairs at Katsucon when me and my friend went down in them Friday or Saturday evening. And this girl sunk to her knees on the floor and started screaming, "Oh my God, it's Stolas!" And like doing this all the way on the ground. And I was just standing there like, "Oh my God, thank you." I don't know how to react. I appreciate the love. I was just so taken aback. It was like right as soon as we got off the elevator getting down to the floor too.
Yep.
It's
That,
so cute.
that that's a good way to start an evening. Evening.
Right? Like immediately get down and someone's like on their knees and you're like, "Oh Lord." Did not expect that one.
Yeah. Um. So, what is one of the biggest misconceptions, either about you or the characters you cosplay as?
Hmm. I think personally, there has been a lot of misconception about me in the last few years, but I think that is because I was a crazy, like 21, 22-year-old, and I've calmed down a lot, and people did not realize that. But as for the characters I cosplay, um, I think a lot of those characters are taken to be so stoic and like I love the kind of characters who are more on the quiet and stoic side, and people don't think that there's a lot of like weakness or that there is vulnerability in those sort of characters. And I
Mhm.
think they kind of just pass them over for being quiet and shy, and it's like there's so much more to look into in that. And I feel like there's so much more behind the curtain or however you would say that.
Yeah, that that makes perfect sense to me.
Nice. Good. I'm not making full sense to myself, so I'm glad. Just
Well,
rambling.
it's fine. Um. This question we already kind of went over. Um, does the content you make, either for TikTok, Instagram, blah 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 blah, is it the ones that you like or put the most work into that get the most attention, or is it the ones that surprise you?
It's always the ones that surprise me. If I put a lot of work into something, it goes nowhere. It's whenever I post a video or a picture or something with no effort and just like a second thought that it goes crazy. And I'm like, why?
Mm-hmm.
Like specifically, there's a video that me and my Yang, Miko-chan 215, who'll be on later with us, she and I did a video, I guess like 2 years ago now on TikTok, where we made a million Blake and Yang videos. They were super cute. And then I found this silly little audio about like how to piss off your pet cat. And like we did that jokingly. I was actually in Yang and she was in Blake because we switched for that convention to confuse people. Um, because I'm always Blake and she's always Yang. So we were like, let's just confuse the world. But we made a video of being like, pet the cat and do this, and Abby just or Yang just acting all or well Blake. I always call her Yang. Her acting all pissed off as I did that as a Yang. 20,000 views just immediately. I'm like, this we put no effort into this. I'm like holding it in selfie mode, like it was such a spur of the moment, last minute decision.
Yeah.
And that was 20 times better than everything else.
Yeah.
Like, come on, world.
Yeah, I feel that. I feel that. Ugh. So, I think that's all the questions on my list. Oh, wait, no. There's the most important question. The most
Ooh,
important set of questions.
okie
They're
dokie.
coming from a past guest, a Mr. Zoom underscore 2028. Bacon? Question mark.
Bacon?
Yep.
Sadly, no bacon. I'm vegetarian.
Okay, that's fair. Fair enough. Well, the next question is even longer and more complicated, coming from the
Oh,
same past
goodness.
guest. Peanut
Okay.
butter? Question mark.
Oh, yes, peanut butter. Peanut butter for sure. All the way.
Awesome. I can't believe I those were the last ones on the list for me to say.
Amazing. Very, very important questions.
Always. Because usually those are the first ones I say, so it was weird that they were the last one this time.
Yeah,
This is
with
the
them.
first time they were last. Um,
Closing it
so now we're going to go on to the final four questions, unless I'm laying the phone down because I don't need it anymore.
out. Okay.
The first question is, do you have any questions for me as an individual or about the show in general?
Just out of curiosity, how long have you been doing this now? I know you said like a episode 188 or something. That's insane.
I think it's so confusing because we started in like the end of December
Oh my
um,
gosh, like of 2022?
of 20, I think of 2020 or no,
Okay,
the
technically,
December of 2019. I think that's when we started. I
right
need to
before the
like,
pandemic.
yeah, right before.
Oh
Um,
wow.
and then we started doing the character interviews, which, uh, because we at the time like we were interviewing a lot of cosplayers, and shockingly, I know, and some of them didn't have the TikToks and stuff, so
Yeah,
there was like people wanted to have a reason to get into cosplay and stuff, and we're like, well, I have
come do
this
some
idea,
interviews. That's really cool.
and and it was right after I binge watched all of RWBY from like volume 1 to 7,
Nice.
and
Oh, I love a good binge.
oh god, shoot. Okay, here, self promote yourself for 1 second. I need to unlock the door. I'll be right back. I'm very sorry.
Absolutely.
Self promo,
Oh no,
go.
you're totally fine. Just because my handles are different on different platforms, on Instagram, it is aribug360, ARIBUG 360, just the numbers. And then on TikTok, it is just aribug, ARIBUG. And on Facebook, if any of you guys follow cosplay pages on Facebook, it is Aribug Cosplay. I do not post quite as much on Facebook. However, I try and make a post there as often as I can remember. I think TikTok and Instagram are definitely my most active places. So those would be the ones to follow me on. And I will be back on the next episode, I believe, which will be the Ruby in character interview with Team Ruby. And I'm really excited to be doing that. And we're back. Nice. I did it. I rambled for the appropriate amount of time.
Perfect. Sorry about that. My mom's got
No
back from a
worries.
trip and I need to unlock the door. Um,
It happens.
uh, do you have any other questions for me as an individual or about the show in general?
I don't think so.
Awesome. Well, the next one is going to be, um, who would you like to see on the show in the future?
Ooh, that's fun. I like that one. Um, self shamelessly promoting my bestie, Miko-chan, who is gonna be Yang on the later one, is super
Mhm.
sweet. I don't know if you guys have done a one-on-one, but I highly recommend doing one with her. We have some lovely Miko-chan 215 is her at. Some of my wonderful cosplay friends who I would recommend is one of the people I cosplay with the most. Her at is loose underscore ends underscore.
Mhm.
She is a fantastic cosplayer and also one of my other besties, so I must Gotta promote the besties. Masquerade's cosplay is another great one. That's one of our friends. Um, let's see. I don't know if she can do stuff online right now, but our friend Kimmy's also got some great cosplays. Abby's spouse Chris, I don't know if they would do interviews. They're awesome. Angelus Averto. Um, yeah. Our friend Gabs is a great one who does a lot of really different cosplays and does a lot of different fandoms. She's got a lot of variety. Her at is Flighty the Nerd.
Hmm.
She's a super fun one. I think that's
Awesome.
it off the top of my head. That's what I can think of. I'm sure there's a million more.
Awesome. Um, so, the next question is usually, would you ever like to come back to the show to do another video? But we're doing that in an hour. So,
I mean, I would love to do our Ruby interview if you ever want to have me back at a later time and see what's changed. I am happy to come back on some other time. Totally open to doing this. It's a lot of fun. I'm
awesome.
excited to get into a new kind of realm of social media and posting.
Yay. Um, then the last question is, do you have any questions for a future guest?
Okay, I think my two questions that I would say to add on for future guests is what is your favorite cosplay you've ever done?
Oh, that's a hard one.
And then what is, if you were like, if they are someone who does a lot of crafting or building, what is your proudest thing you have ever made or built?
Hmm, awesome. I'm gonna have to write those down and add them to the list.
Totally understandable. I think those are some pretty fun ones. It gives people a chance to show off the things they've felt really good about.
Yeah, 100%. I agree. Well,
Well, thank you.
yes. Well, with that, we are done. So thank you so much, Ari, for being on here. I do highly appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you for having me. I am so excited to have gotten to do this with you.
Yay. And thank you all for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell icon if you have any questions or anything, comments. Follow our lovely guests on all the social media platforms. Yay!
Thank you.
And with that, at least I will see you in the next video. Bye
See
bye.
you later. Have a good one.